back to the channel, and we're back to the studio. Yesterday we had a timeout to the game yesterday, Man City Arsenal, and today we'll be talking. We'll be analyzing the game. We'll do the full review today, as I promised. And before we start the analysis, we just have to first congratulate our women's team yesterday, who defeated Chelsea in the Continental Cup. Congratulations to them. They've won it back to back. That's a big one, thereby denting Chelsea's hopes of a quadruple. Big up to the women there. And unfortunately, one of the strikers, Manum, collapsed in the game. But the news emerged that she's doing okay. So I'm really excited for that one. Congratulations once again to the women's team who won the Continental Cup. Yes, the big game yesterday, Man City, Arsenal, the talk, all the hype and everything. The game happened. It wasn't meant to be. I said it. I said it's not a title decider. It's not a title decider. And I somehow foresaw, what was going to happen. It's like a game of chess, and that goes to show how far Mikel Arteta has come with this team. A lot of people will not agree with me. Mikel Arteta is doing an immense job at this football club. We were always beaten, battered, thrashed at the Etihad. Yesterday's game was not the best game for both sides, but you could see clearly that they gave Arsenal due respect. We limited them to just one shot. We reduced Erling Haaland to 7 touches. I'm not saying 7 touches. I'm not saying 7 shots. 7 touches in the first half. That's remarkable from the defense. So that was how the game was set up by both managers. None of them wanted to go for it. It was just like a drag game now, waiting for who to have it, like smash and grab kind of a thing. And you would recall that Arsenal had the best chances. It was a game. I said earlier that I would take a point, but after a while, I was now thinking that it's a missed opportunity for Arsenal. It's a game we could have won if we had taken our chances. We had the best chances, for God's sake. Look at Leandro Trossard. He wanted to, I won't blame Trossard too much. He had options in his mind. He was just indecisive. He was just undecided. He didn't know what to do. So he went the other way. Martinelli was clear, was free. It's just a matter of squaring the ball. And that's 1-0 Arsenal. Sealed, done. But he decided to go the other way and took a shot, which the keeper was already alert to it, already knew what he was going to do if he was not going to square the ball. So, but in total, big up to the boys. They gave it their all. We couldn't get the result we wanted to defeat Manchester City at the Etihad for the first time in almost 10 years. But we gave a good account of ourselves as a team. We went to the Etihad. We didn't lose the game. It's always said that if you can't win the game, then don't lose it. And that was exactly what the boys did. And we stopped Man City from scoring at the Etihad in 57 games in 3 years. Manchester City have not failed to score at least a goal at the Etihad in the last 3 years. So we went there, we stopped them from scoring. That's a massive one for Arsenal. So at the end of the day, the winners of this weekend is Liverpool. It's unfortunate saying this, but that's the fact. Because Liverpool managed to beat Brighton yesterday 2-1. So seeing them go back to the top of the table with a 2-point lead. They are now on 67 points. and we are on 65 points, second on the table, and Manchester City on 64 points. But the race goes on. There's still going to be lots of twists and turns. Who would have thought that we will have such twists and turns in just a single game week? And we have 9 other game weeks. So there's going to be other twists and turns. And you believe me that Liverpool didn't have it so good yesterday. They managed to carve out that result. It wasn't easy. Brighton, had the first bite. They scored first, and they leveled scores. Liverpool leveled scores in the first half, and of course they got the win in the second half. Mohamed Salah. What do you expect? So it's 2-1 Liverpool, and they're back to the top of the table. Let's focus on Arsenal Man City game. So that was the game. It was an intense game, not a thrilling one by all standards, by what everyone was expecting. A lot of fans, rival fans, would say it was a boring game, but that's rival fans. We know what we want. You go to Man City, you want to play your game, you get beat. That's what I said in my previous previews. So we were cautious, and we got a result. 1 point, not the ultimate result, but at least we got a result. We didn't get beat as usual. So it's a process, and I'm still trusting the process. I'm trusting the manager. I'm trusting everything. So we go back to the Emirates and prepare for Luton Town. We'll be doing the preview of the Luton Town because it's happening this week. I think Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So we quickly get the review of this one over the line and move on to Luton game in our next video. But before we we end this particular video, we'll talk. We analyze the player ratings, how the players performed individually. We're going to be rating the players, and we'll start in goal with David Raya. As the game went on, so there wasn't much for Raya to do, to be honest. So there was just one shot on target for Manchester City. Unbelievable, but that's the truth. So he didn't have to do a lot of things. But what I really noticed about David Raya was his composure. He was alert to everything. He didn't make any mistakes. He connected well with the defenders, and he did what he had to do. He kept a clean sheet. So big up to David Raya there. Just because it wasn't a win, I'll give David Raya an 8 out of 10 for David Raya. And we go to Ben White. Ben White, since this season, Ben White has not put a foot wrong. I'll keep saying it. Ben White had a spectacular game yesterday. He was hardly dribbled past. He kept Foden at bay. Foden was substituted in the second half of the game. A player that is deemed to be their star player was subbed off. Ben White kept him quiet for large parts of the game. So big up to Ben White there. He gets an 8 out of 10 for me. And we go to Jakub Kiwior. Jakub Kiwior, he was subbed off in the second half. He did what he had to do. In the first half, he was a little bit calamitous. Gabriel Jesus, gave him a lot of helping hand in the game, to be honest. It wasn't really formidable in that game, and I wasn't surprised why the reason he was subbed off in the second half, because he was getting a little bit tired. And Pep Guardiola introduced Jeremy Doku and of course, who else? Grealish. So it was always going to be a tough afternoon for Jakub Kiwior. So with the performance so far, it was, after that, moment from Bernardo Silva on him, he didn't make further mistakes too much. So it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah. So we'll go to Gabriel, the warrior. I call him the warrior. Gabriel Magalhaes. What a player. What a player. What a player. This particular player is not getting the accolades that he deserves. What a fighter. Look, I am lost for superlatives to describe this player. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed to have this player play for Arsenal. The fight that this player has, Gabriel Magalhaes, it was on Erling Haaland. He was talking tough on the pitch. No wonder William Saliba said he talks a lot. And I'm not surprised why this guy talked a lot. He's animated. He was always there. It's like, come on. I give it all to this guy, Gabriel Magalhaes. He gets a 9 from me. 9 out of 10 for Gabriel there. And we'll go to William Saliba. Man of the match performance. Calm, or as always, calm on the ball, does his composure. He plays like a midfield player. He picks out his player, he passes the ball clean. He was clean when he had to deal with Erling Haaland. He did it cautiously, he did it neatly. He didn't commit to too many fouls. And all in all, he played a brilliant part to this game to ensure that we didn't concede a single goal. 9 out of 10 for that man. William Saliba there. And we go to Jorginho. Jorginho, if you look at the nature of the game, Jorginho was meant to go so deep, deep to the back four, So we didn't see much of Jorginho coming out, squaring passes, as he used to do in previous games. This is Manchester City. So we didn't see much of a masterclass from Jorginho, but big up to him. He defended well. He held his man well. He held Rodri well. Rodri didn't have a single chance to pass to link up play to Kevin De Bruyne. As I previewed previously, that you don't allow Rodri to move with the ball often, to pick out passes to De Bruyne and Foden, and that was exactly what Jorginho did. But at some point with his age, that he was going to get tired eventually. And of course, he was subbed off. 7 out of 10 for Jorginho. Big up to Jorginho there for that performance. I go to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, this is why we signed Declan Rice for 105 million pounds. He put in a great performance yesterday, though he didn't pick up in time in the first half. He was a little bit, out of shape, out of momentum. But in the second half, you saw the real Declan Rice. At some point in the game, he lost his footing, and immediately that recovery was massive. He immediately recovered the ball after losing it, and that was what is expected of a midfield player. He made little mistakes. He was really holding his own and limiting Kevin De Bruyne to so many chances. 8 out of 10 for Declan Rice there for me. And we go to Martin Odegaard. That, usual fluidity from Martin Odegaard wasn't really spotted, but I can't fault Martin Odegaard. He fought hard, and the entire team, they fought hard, but I'm just, picking these individuals to rate them. Martin Odegaard did his part, though his passes, his link-up passes, as he used to do, his true passes were not that clean, but he was present in that midfield. He wasn't like a player that had to disappear from the game because it was Manchester City. He gave his all. He did his best. He did his part. He ensured that the game was clean. You could see that he was so rough in the game. So 8 out of 10 for Martin Odegaard. We could say that I'm a little bit generous with my ratings. I big up these players. I can't fault them too much. I'm taking so much positives from this game. Then we talk about Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus got a yellow card. He did his part. He fought well. He didn't go forward too much. He was majorly on the defensive side, supporting Jakub Kiwior. He did his part. He was subbed off in the second half because, that we're managing his situation because of the knee injury that he has. So 7 out of 10 for Gabriel Jesus there. And Bukayo Saka. And this is a clear indication that Saka is not truly really fit for this particular game. It's just for the passion, the commitment that these players have. It is very clear that some of these players are carrying some injuries, and you could see that in Bukayo Saka yesterday. And for him to have been subbed off in the 78th minute, he lasted to the 78th minute, and he was suffering a lot of tackles from Kevin De Bruyne and all of that. He was really involved in the game, though we didn't see him going forward, doing those link-up plays as he used to do. But he still, contributed, played his part. So I didn't see too much of him. and I was really scared that he was going to give away a penalty, before he was subbed off. So, but yeah, all in all, I'll just give him 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for me for Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz did not play like a player that was going to get a goal, that was going to hit the target. But I noticed that Havertz his contribution was to, you know, disengage, distort the rhythm of the back four, of the defenders. That was what he tried to do, not allowing them to get the momentum, not allowing them to get the rhythm. He fought hard. He played his part, and no wonder he lasted 90 minutes. His presence, his size, his height was pivotal to that game. Some people would argue that he didn't really do anything going forward. No. For me, I understand his part in that game. He had to be there. His presence was, he had to support the likes of Martin Odegaard, whose strength is not really their strong point. So I'm not going to fault Kai Havertz too much for not going forward, trying to create chances, trying to score goals. No, we got a result in the end. So 7 out of 10 for me there for Kai Havertz. Then we go to the substitutes on the day. Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu, Leandro Trossard, Martinelli. The introduction of Thomas Partey and Tomiyasu saw the balance of play. I knew that Mikel Arteta was waiting for Pep Guardiola to make his substitutions before reacting to it, and he reacted to it just well. He had it spot on. He brought in, the moment Guardiola brought in Doku and Grealish, he brought in Thomas Partey and Tomiyasu for Kivio and Jorginho, and they held it very tight. Tomiyasu played exceptionally on that left back row and held Doku really well. So 6 out of 10 for Tomiyasu. And Thomas Partey, when he came out, you could see that composure in the midfield. We saw more of Thomas Partey in the few minutes that he was in the game, in the midfield role, than we saw Jorginho in the entirety of the game. Not trying to fault Jorginho, because Jorginho had a role in the heart of that defense. But during the closing stages of the game, you could see that Thomas Partey was meant to come out and try to keep the midfield calm. And he did it really well. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. 6 out of 10 for Thomas Partey. And Leandro Trossard, I really fault Leandro Trossard for that decision he made. We could have got a goal from that breakthrough, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. 6 out of 10 for Leandro Trossard as well. Gabriel Martinelli, we didn't see much of him. He just came back from injury. Big up to him for his presence. Of course, 6 out of 10 for him as well. So in its entirety, I can't fault this team. They gave it their all. They showed to me, they showed to every Arsenal fan that they are there. They are ready for the running for the title, and that is the most important thing. So there's a lot of negatives. Of course, there's a lot of negatives, but I'm focusing this video on the positives. Going forward, we take the point, we move forward. We have Luton Town on Wednesday. I believe that we are ready for Luton Town already, because after Luton Town, we're having Brighton in the weekend, and we are expecting Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So we don't have time to keep talking about Manchester City game. We've moved on from that. We got the point. We read them. We kept them in third position. That is very important. We're in second. We are 2 points adrift of Liverpool, and that's what we should look forward to. The boys did very well. I can't fault them. That's it. So I'm pleased with the result. Not satisfied. Not really pleased that, okay, that's what we want, but it's okay. That was what they were able to get, and it's okay. It's better than getting nothing. It's better than going to the Etihad and get beat, as they always do in previous times. So that's how far we've come, and we're still moving forward. People always say, we need a striker, we need a striker, we need a striker. We've gone the entire season now without a striker, and we're in second position with 9 games to go, still fighting for the league. So that's the video out there. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, And let me know your thoughts on the player ratings. If you have any altercation, make it known on the comment section. I'll see you again. That's the video there. And don't forget to hit the like button to get our contents as they come thick and fast. Love you all. Have a blessed Monday. See you. Peace.